So I really want us to touch something small about equipment before the group that is supposed to present today to present. So maybe I'll take maybe less than 30 minutes for me to maybe touch on the equipment. Then they can be able to present, because I can see Catherine has joined. Modoni, I can see you. I don't know where Charlotte has gone. So just notify them. I've already given you enough time for you to be able to prepare. So let me just talk briefly about the equipment. I was in the flatware, so the cutleries. So I said each and every cutlery goes by its own name, and its name is derived from the kind of function it does or what is used for. So for example, if it is a spoon or a fork that we use for eating dessert, it is called a dessert spoon. So you could be able to see some images that are already in your notes, so you can follow through. We have also teaspoons. I think you are aware of them. Sometimes if it is meat, we use it. We can use a joint knife or a steak knife. So it depends with whatever that we have. So, and I said that, of course, when you're going to do your practicals, these are some of the equipment that you're going to find. You'll be able to understand them better. For now, it's just for you to be able to really memorize on the names and get to know what are they used for. So practically, you'll be able to see them and get to relate with them. So even if it is for cocktail service, like if we have different services, of course, one of it being a cocktail service. A cocktail service, of course, we might use maybe the ice baskets, the champagne bucket, and so on. So they are basically for holding ice most of the time, and also for chilling, maybe champagne that needs chilling, or some wine that needs chilling, or any other ingredient that you might be using when you are making the mocktail. So remember, there is two terms for you to be able to get to know the difference. We have the cocktail and we have the mocktail. So when I'm talking about the cocktail, is basically the mixture of alcoholic drinks, okay? A mixture of alcoholic drinks. And if it is maybe a mixture of the normal juices and so on, then we call it a mocktail. So I'm just going through whatever that we have in our notes. There's nothing new. So there is also the still room. Of course, I think the group that is going to present today, they're going to talk about the service areas that we have in our F&B department. So they will talk about the still room. You'll be able to know what a still room is, but it's just for you to be able to know that even in the still room, we have equipment there. For example, we have the sugar pots, the coffee pots, the tea pots, and so on. And so many equipment that we use to make the coffee and the teas. So the equipments are so many. So some of the other important food service equipment that you might maybe come across, maybe you hear me asking, why didn't you place maybe a flower vase on the tables? Maybe, for example, a candle stand. Maybe you can talk about the shelving dishes. The shelving dishes, most of the time we use them during the buffet service, which is a self-service. So I think everyone has already seen them. Ashtrays we provide to the guests who normally smoke, and so many others. So these ones, most of them are provided upon request by the customer, or most of the time maybe with a specific service on that day that you have. That's when maybe you place some on the table. So we have another type of equipment that we call the Chinaware. So Chinaware is a term that is used for crockery made out of bone, which is very expensive. And most of the time, I don't know, people relate Chinaware with equipment that have been made with China. But whenever you are asked maybe to describe or explain what Chinaware is, it's basically you have to maybe say that it is a crockery maybe made from bone, which is fine and expensive. So just don't say that Chinaware is equipment or maybe crockeries or items that are made in China. Try not to. So there is a lot of description in your notes. You can be able to go through them, and of course, this that is made from Chinaware is actually we use them. We use them in our during our service. So I will be able to show you which ones are for the Chinaware and so on. So for you to be able to know that they are equipment that we call the Chinaware. The equipments, of course, are made from different types of materials. So, like for example, we know the one that is made from porcelain. So I think that one is common to everyone, which is especially the ceramic material. I think some of you have already heard about ceramic material and so on. Why are they important? Why buy maybe plates made from a ceramic, or maybe why buy pots made from ceramic and so on. So there is a specific way to be able to store them. Remember that when you are talking about the equipment, we also need to know, as much as we're going to buy them, you should also know on how to be able to maintain them, store them. You can't just place them just like the ones that are made from metals. They can break easily. So you'll have to know on a specific way to be able to store them. You have to make sure that you pile them well on a shelf. Make sure that first of all you have already cleaned it, wiped it clean, then place them well for storage to make sure that they can be used at any time. And also storing them will also prevent accidents, unnecessary accidents to happen maybe during the service time. We also have another common equipment we call the glasswares. The glassware, of course, they are items which are made from glass, most of them, and generally all the glasses. Okay, we have several glasses, and each glass carries the name on what they are used for. Like for example, when you mention the wine glasses, of course they are purely used for serving wine. You can't serve water with them unless it is a water tumbler. So that's when you use it for water. Maybe when I talk about the beer glasses, then they are supposed to be used for serving beer and so on. So I want to address the question that Charlotte is asking. You're asking that we should break down all the areas to be covered, or you provide us with more detailed outline. Basically, Charlotte, what you're supposed to present is maybe a general view, okay? I will definitely provide notes for it. But remember, this is just like your own assignment, basically. It's not for you to be able to teach us these topics into depth. It's just for you to be able to explain a bit on what you understand from your own understanding about these service areas and ancillary departments that we have in the F&B department, okay? So basically, I don't want you to go into depth on that because I will have to, go through it again for better understanding to the rest. So for you was just to give us an overview. I don't expect you to give us so much details because remember that you have less than 30 minutes to present. So I think that is not necessary. Just present whatever that you have. So that goes for each and every group that is to present. The aim of the presentation is just for me to be able to know exactly how much can you be able to research by yourselves and what can you be able to give a summary about, okay? So let me wind up on the equipment. So I said that we have the glassware. These ones are very delicate. Even you already have some at home, though most of the people use them for the wrong reasons. But when you come professionally, each and every glass is used for a specific function, okay? It has its own purpose. And glassware, we always handle them with very much care. Poor storage will lead to breakage. Poor storage can also lead to accidents and so on. So we have to make sure that we are able to store them, clean them quite well. So there are different types of glassware that are already on in your notes. For example, we have the cocktail glasses, we have the wine glasses. Remember, the wine glasses are different. We have the flute glass, we have the white wine glass, we have also the champagne glass, we have the red wine glass, and so on. So they come on with different shapes and sizes depending on what they will be used for. So I think I talked about types of linen, what they are used for, what their functions are. So I think that one I won't repeat on that unless there is any question on it. So I want to wind on. Okay, this one I think will be covered with a certain group before I make a presentation on it. So I want us to talk about disposables. So there are types of equipment that we call disposables. These are items which can be disposed immediately they are used. You have to throw them away. You cannot recycle them. And disposables, of course, we have seen maybe, for example, for the takeaways, when we have maybe meals, for example, the plastic plates or the paper plates, or the spoons, the plastic spoons, the plastic glasses, and even the serviettes and so on. They fall under the category of this. So Catherine, you're asking, and for those of us who can't access the mic, anyone can access the mic, Catherine. So it's just that when you joined, you actually joined using the listening only. Unless you go back, just go back and join using the mic. So I can see Hope joined using the mic, Helen joined using the mic, Dennis used the mic. So anyone who is supposed to present today, please go back and join using the mic. Okay. So how can you present while typing for us to be able to see? My interest is on you being able to articulate, okay, for us to be able to hear your presentation. That's the essence of a presentation. Otherwise, if you are just to type there, then it will mean that is an assignment. Just go back. Charlotte, Modoni, I think everyone who is even supposed to present, you have already joined with listening only. Please go back and join using the mic. That will be better for you. So I want to wind up on the disposables. So I said that the disposables are actually things that you can be able to throw them away immediately after you have used them. Okay, you cannot recycle. Maybe, for example, you have gone to KFC and you have taken your maybe your burger or your chicken, and they have wrapped it on something which is disposable, like especially that cardboard, the box that they normally serve with. So can you be able to recycle it? Because I think their lunch boxes are actually more of like paper. So if you immediately you are done with it, you will have to throw them away. There's no way you can be able to recycle them. So those are some of the disposables, and I know that you have a lot of you have seen a lot of them. And the reason as to why companies use these disposables, most of them just use them for marketing purposes. They will always maybe immediately you carry maybe that your pizza home, maybe it is wrapped in a pizza box. You have already, marketed it maybe to other customers, potential customers. Maybe, for example, you sit into a matatu with your pizza, and maybe someone will be like, okay, where did you buy it? And they already see it and so on. So they will be able to go and buy that same pizza. Amadoni, mute your mic for now. That is good. You have already joined. Charlotte, you can go and join because Modoni has already joined. Charlotte, you can go and join using the mic. Modoni has done that. Modoni, you can try guiding them if you're able to hear me from your side. So the reason as to why even companies opt to use these disposables mainly is because of the marketing purposes. So immediately, even if you are done with the pizza box and you throw it away, the other person will be able to see that, okay, like there is maybe a pizza nearby, or maybe they will be able to even search for more information and get where it is they are located, and maybe become potential customers to you because of the branding that you use with your disposables. So there are factors, of course, to that companies consider before even they use these disposables. There are many. Number one, maybe, is to reduce the cost, because actually buying let's say, for example, crockeries, which is an example of a plate, buying maybe the normal spoons, the flatwares may be made of porcelain, or the ones that are of good quality of metal, and so on. So you'll find them that they are so costly. You can't just buy and give them to customers to go with them at home. You'll suffer losses. So it is better maybe if it is maybe a takeaway, to be able to reduce your costs by maybe going minimal by using disposables. So there are several factors that are there, so you can be able to go through them. And I'll talk about the advantages of using these disposables. Number one is because of the hygiene, because each and every time that you use maybe a lunch box made of maybe paper and so on, then you'll not need to keep on cleaning and all that, because each and every time you will pack something, like maybe it is a chicken or it is a pizza or whatever it is, you will have to use a new one. You cannot keep on recycling, following up customers and telling, okay, you're done with your lunch box, give it back so that I can wrap it to another guest. No. Each and every time you use a new one, that means that it will be a clean lunch box. And another maybe advantage is that it will need less labor, especially for, you will not need staff who are going to clean them. So cleaning up, of course, won't be of essence, because you will always keep on buying new ones for you to serve other customers with. So no need of having staff who are going to keep to clean the disposable equipment. So another advantage, I talked about marketing. At least whenever someone goes home with the branded lunch box made of paper, then it means that they will be able even to market you to other customers wherever they are. So they are less costly, they are cheaper. So like a plate goes for 100 or 200 depending, but a disposable costs, maybe a disposable plate can cost even shillings. Okay, it can cost, at most it can go up to 7 shillings. So then you have already saved on the cost. Okay, it also have disadvantages. I think each and every item also has its own disadvantages. Like, for example, matters of supply. They're not reliable most of the time. Maybe most of the companies that you outsource these disposables from, they might not be reliable. Sometimes they might bring the deliveries late, or maybe they will not supply you the required number of items that you will need. Okay, and also storage. I have seen maybe most of the disposables are made from maybe paper, carton, and so on. So that means even the storage, you have to be sensitive with it. You have to look maybe for a dry place to place them. You can't just place them anywhere. So immediately they get water, they are done. That is a loss for you. So you'll have to be keen on them. And so I think that are some of the disadvantages. We have several. You can go through them. So, and also we have the do's and don'ts, what we are supposed to do with on how to handle the equipment. So please go through them. Go through them at your own pace, and know how we're supposed to handle this equipment, so that whenever we are back to our practicals, we don't have problems. Maybe you are handling glasswares badly, or the plates and so on, then I think that will be so not professional. So it is important to go through them. So if you will note that you haven't, if there is something that you haven't understood, then you can be able to ask questions later on. Okay. So I think I can wind there. I can wind up on that. So, and I think I can give some time to the group to present. So Charlotte, Modoni, and Jambi, are you ready for your presentation? So who was the group leader of the team? Group leader? Charlotte, were you the group leader?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So can I make you the presenter? Then maybe you can be able to introduce the rest. Are we together, Charlotte?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll make you the presenter. Then you'll be able to present the ones who you are presenting with. Remember, you're just going to give us just us something slightly. And then maybe I can wind up on that topic about the service areas and the ancillary department. So let me see how I can make you a presenter. Okay, so you notice that I've made you a presenter, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you have something that you're going to present for us, at least to share the screen with. You have a small PowerPoint.
I don't have that one.
You don't have that one. Which one do you have?
I have it in hard copy.
In hard copy, Charlotte. And for the rest of the group, I want you at least to make, I think I can excuse group 1 because of that, but the rest, maybe group 2s and the rest of you, make sure at least you have a PowerPoint, okay? Something to be able to show us what you are talking about and so on, for us to be able to follow through, okay? So, Charlotte, you can be able even to put on your, to share with us even your, as it called, the webcam, okay?
Webcam.
Yes. See, you are to present today. Don't expect you to be in bed. Just click on the far right. There is share webcam. Click on it.
Yeah, I'm going.
So you're using a phone or a computer?
A phone.
A phone.
Yeah.
So can you be able to see share webcam?
No.
There is. Next to where the mic is, on your far right. There isn't?
I've seen it.
Okay, click on it so that at least some of us can be able to see who you are. Because maybe for my marking, it is very important for me also to know who you are. Because maybe you might even present for another person. Okay.
Okay.
I can't rely on your voice because I keep on hearing different types of voices. But I can't forget faces. So click on that as we are waiting for your presentation. So you are in charge.
Can I start?
Yes, just go ahead because now you are the presenter.
Okay, so we were given a topic of ancillary department. So I found that in any establishment, a guest first impression on entering the service area is of great importance. A guest can won or lost on this impression alone. The services area are usually between kitchen and the food service area. There are some important areas in the makeup of the catering establishment. So there is a link acting between kitchen and restaurants. These are also the meeting point for staffs of various sections as they carry out their duties. So we have 5 main back off of the house service. They are on number 1, still room, kitchen stewarding, and hot plate or food pickup area. Another one is linen room. Then the other one is store. So still room. Still room. The main function of the still room is to provide items of food and beverage required for the service of the meal and not created by any other major department like kitchen, ladder, etc. So number 2, kitchen stewarding. Kitchen stewarding. The kitchen stewarding is basically divided into 2 areas. Number 1 is wash up area. Another one is dishwashing method. Then washing machine. Yeah.
Okay, so introduce us to the other presenters of your group.
Uh,
So who else was to present? Modoni. Give us your findings. So Madani, I've already made you a presenter. So please make sure that you have shared with us your findings. And Shayet, please share with me your admission number. You can write it at the public chat. Write your admission number at the public chat.
So, in food and beverage service areas,
Share with us the webcam. Put on your webcam. Your webcam is on the far right, just next to your mic. Madani,
yes.
put on your webcam. It is on your far right, next to the mic.
Can you see me?
Yes, I can.
So, in food and beverage service areas, the
You have disappeared. Just click on it and continue with your presentation. Catherine, you should join using the mic if you are to present. You should refresh, maybe go back again and join using the mic. Madani, where did you go to? Madani, you muted your mic. Madani, you muted your mic.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. Click on the share webcam.
So, the next service area, the silver or plate room. which is used in large establishments, and it's a distinct or separate service area. Silver room should hold complete stock of silver required for the service of all meals and surplus stock in case of emergencies. Storage of silver is at most importance. So in a silver control room, there are two main ways of checking for foods to be issued, namely by issuing items in bulk on receipt of a requisition received from food service area, and by issuing of tea, coffee, or any other beverage required in the necessary portions on receipt of waiter check. The large silvers, which includes the flats and salvers, all these are stored in shelves with all the flats of one size together. The shelves should be labeled for easy identification. When stacking, heavier silver should be kept on lower shelves and lighter and smaller items on the higher shelves, because it helps to prevent accidents. The silver cleaning methods. There are various methods of cleaning and generally depend on the size of establishment. The service cleaning methods include burnishing machine. This is a revolving drum with a safety shield. It is plumbed into the main or potable with water poured by means of hose from tap. It may be divided into compartments. It may be divided into compartments to hold specific sizes of silver. It is possible to insert and remove rod through the center of the drum from one end to the other for holding equipment like teapots, coffee pots, milk jugs, sugar basins in position while the drum is revolving. Then in order for the burnishing machine to effectively and efficient, it is half filled with ball bearings, which is the part of machine that supports a moving part. The items to be cleaned are put in the drum, which is then topped with soap and water solution. The lid is locked down and the motor turned on. The rotation and consequent friction gives a high polish to the article, but the silver is not scratched. The silver is then removed from machine and rinsed with hot water and dried with a clean tea cloth. A point to note is that the ball bearings must always be kept covered with water, otherwise they rust very easily. The polyvit. A polyvit is an aluminum metal sheet containing holes, which is best used in an enamel or galvanized iron bowl. The pile of it is placed in the bowl together with some soda. Silver to be cleaned is put into bowl, ensuring that at least one piece or part of silver has contact with the polyvite. Sufficient boiling water is poured into bowl to cover the silver being cleaned. Chemical reaction takes place between the polyvite, hot water, soda and silver, which causes the tarnish or the dirt to be lifted. After 3 to 4 minutes, silver removed into bowl and rinsed into boiling water, drained and polished with clean, dry tea cloth. The plate powder The plate powder is a powder which is mixed with methylated spirit to obtain smooth paste. To obtain smooth paste, the reason is because using spirit to mix powder is that it evaporates much quickly than if water is used. The smooth paste is rubbed onto the article being cleaned with a clean piece of cloth evenly to remove all tarnish. The paste is left until has dried and then rubbed off with a clean cloth. The article is then rinsed in very hot water to give a final polish and wiped with a clean tea cloth. The advantage is this method produces very good results. The disadvantage, it is time consuming and it is very messy. The next method is silver dip. This is a pink colored liquid which must be put in a plastic bowl. Silver to be cleaned is placed into a wire basket and dipped into the plastic bowl containing the silver dip, and silver be covered. Leave the silver for a short while, then lift out and drain. Rinse the silver in warm water, then polish with a clean, dry tea cloth. The advantage of silver dip is it is a very quick method. It produces good results. Then next method is silver. Silver is a proprietary product similar to a solution of plate powder or ready paste. The same procedures of applying and cleaning as for plate powder. The Duraglit, it is a wedding used in similar fashion as silver. Wedding is soft material that you wrap around things to protect them.
Modani, are you done? Okay. So who else was in your group? Who else was in your group? Or Catherine? Where's Catherine? Catherine has not yet joined using the mic, so that will be impossible for her to be able to present. Okay. So I see in your group you also had Masanga one. She's in group 2. Okay. Makao Mwindi. Makao Mwindi. Do you have Makao Mwindi here? Catherine, actually what you could have done is like you have to log out first, then go back and join the big blue button for you to be able to select the mic site. Even if you refresh, you cannot be able to join that way. So it is for you to log out first, then log in again. Okay. That's how you are going to be able to join in. Otherwise, you will be having problems. So do we have Makao Mwindi? So next week we are expecting Grace Wairimo, Mogendi, Modeo Muli, Masanga Owano. Just make sure that all of you, at least all your group members are represented. So that at least you work with a bit of coordination, so that at least each and everyone should be knowing what to present on. You cover everything that you are to present. So as I'm waiting for Catherine to do what I've requested her to do, Makao Mwindi. I can't see Makao. Mwindi is off. Did you inform Mwindi about this session? Or how are you coordinating? Or Mwindi is not even aware that you are to present today. Catherine has gone back and joined again using the listening only. I don't know who can assist her. Can you try helping Catherine? Group members, Modoni and Charlotte, assist Catherine on how to use the mic. She really wants to do the presentation, but I think she doesn't know how to join using the mic. Assist her as I want to wind up on the topic. Guide Catherine on how you are able to join using the mic, the ones who joined using the mics. So today I'm supposed also to give you an assignment. You'll be able to do your assignment 1. So remember that at least you will be done with assignment 1 and 2. So I think assignment 1 will be the one which I'll be able to post today. Today I'll be able to post the notes for you to be able to read on them before the next session next week. Then I will also post an assignment for you to work on, and I will give you the timelines on when to submit it. So make sure by the end of today you have gone back and checked for the assignments and the notes. Okay.
I have read in both Greek and Western media the citizens of
Morgan, any question?
and the leadership of Unicam.
I'm still waiting for Catherine. Help her if you are able to. Can't be able to see Catherine. Modoni, have you communicated Catherine or Charlotte? She's in your group. Yes, okay. So let us give her time as she tries to join. I don't want to leave any group member out. So try to coordinate as a group. Carol has already presented you into your different groups, so make sure at least you coordinate, know who is to present and who is going to wind up for the group. At least you will be a bit coordinated. And for group 2 and the rest, at least make sure at least you have a PowerPoint presentation on whatever that you want to present. So at least you can share with us. Something short shouldn't necessarily mean that you're putting all the points there, but a few points that you should at least make sure that you have them, because whenever you are given the role of a presenter, you are able to upload whatever that you have. And if it is your day to present, especially, make sure you have enough bundles with you so that you are not logged off in between your presentation. Because obviously I require you to put your webcams on. Okay. A lot of delays from Catherine. So let me talk about, as we are waiting for Catherine, let me talk about the F&B ancillary departments. So when we are talking about the ancillary departments, these are departments that assist in the functioning of the F&B. They work together with the food and beverage department to be able to see that things have moved on well. Okay. So such departments, we have, like, for example, the front office, we have the housekeeping, and also the production. Okay. So of course, when you're talking about the main departments, because food and beverage, I said that it is one of the main departments. The food and beverage production department is also another important department. The front office is very important, and the housekeeping is also important. But there are other departments that support all these four important departments, which we have. For example, we have the maintenance department. The maintenance actually is more of like they employ the engineers in case of any breakdown or a machine has stopped working, then they are able to fix it and work will move on swiftly. We have the accounts department. These departments make sure that the employees are paid on time, and the deliveries that we get, the supplies that we get from our suppliers, they are also paid by the accounts department. So they make sure anything financial, they are the ones who make sure that money goes in and goes out. So we have another important department, which is under ancillary, which you call the human resource department. Human resource is basically for the hiring and firing of staff. Okay, any employee welfare, it's normally handled by the human resource department. If you have any challenges, if you have any problems, then this department helps you make sure that you are comfortable working in that organization. We also have security department. Security department ensures that there is a safe working environment for each and every employee working there. So they maintain the peace and the sanity that is there in the organization. So you can't avoid to talk about, maybe because this is a hotel and you're receiving a lot of clients and customers, then there are customers who might be so stubborn. There are others who are going to cause a lot of trouble and so on. So security people make sure at least everything is under control, and you even feel safe walking into the hotel and walking out. There are people who ensure that everything else is okay. So we have the stores department. A store is basically the ones which receive maybe equipment or any food stuff that is needed for preparation in the hotel, and they make sure that whatever they receive is stored well and it is issued. And they are the ones who make sure that if something that you have requested it is out of stock, then they make a requisition for them, and you get your supplies in time. We also have another department we call the purchasing department or procurement. This is a department which ensures that they choose the right people who are going to supply items, equipment, and foodstuffs for use during to different departments. So if it is in the production area, you need maybe to have vegetables, you need meat. So they make sure at least they choose the reliable suppliers who can be able to supply, and make sure that even if they supply, they check the quality of whatever that they have supplied to the company. So another department that we have is the sales and marketing department. This is an important department because for you even to operate and make a lot of revenue or profit, then you need people who can be able to market whatever that you are preparing. So if you have a service or you have a product, they ensure that they market it for you, make sure that a lot of people are able to get to know what you deal with, and the goodness of your product, or why is your product good than any other product that they have come across. So they are very important. So any organization has to have the sales and marketing department to support its function of the other main departments, and all these departments have to work well with each other. Okay, so there is no way that a department can be able to say that it can function by itself unless they are working well with each other. Because if you are in production, you can't say that procurement is not good for you or it cannot help you, because this department has to make sure that you get your supplies in time. So if you want to make maybe chicken tikka, so if there is no chicken, then how are you going to prepare the meal? Then, so you see that if you do not have a good working relationship with these departments, then you will have a big problem for you to deliver when you are supposed to deliver. So I think other departments are well explained in your notes. The previous notes I had sent you, you can be able to see that, like for example, when you're talking about housekeeping department, it has its own main functions. That is a unit by itself, which you will be able to get. Maybe, for example, if you continue on, maybe to you progress on, then you'll be able to get a unit called the housekeeping, which you'll be able to note what are some of their functions. Why is it even important to say that housekeeping is one of the main departments, and so on. So you notice that even if you're in the food and beverage department or production, there are in guests who you will find that need room services. They want meals to be taken to their rooms and so on. So you will have to make sure that at least you coordinate well with this department for you to be able to work efficiently and make sure that the guests are satisfied. Okay. So unless there is any question about the ancillary departments that we have, so I just explained them in a nutshell, unless you might be having any question. So the reason as to why it's important for you to be able to learn about these F&B ancillary departments is for you to understand that these departments are very important. They play a key role to ensure that the F&B works well. Okay, works well in making sure that the customer is satisfied. And For example, you talk about linen and the housekeeping department, for instance, it has laundry services. For example, all the linens that are taken from the F&B department, then they are washed by the laundry services, okay, which falls under the housekeeping department. So if you want something cleaned, they can be able to do that for you so fast upon request, okay. So I don't think there is any other department that I have not talked about. So all these departments are important and they support each other. In case you have any question about the ancillary department, you can address the questions to me. So I think I can talk a bit. Catherine is, I can't avail the mic, and maybe you can put me in another group. So, okay, Catherine, I can sort that out. So let me talk about the service areas which they have touched. I think maybe Modoni talked about the service areas and Charlotte talked about the ancillary departments. So let me just touch on the service areas. So the service areas are actually the areas that are there within the F&B department. These areas are very important for you to note them, especially when you will be working in the food and beverage department. So maybe even if you're going to go to your attachment, you'll be able to familiarize with yourself with these areas. So these areas, for example, we have the still room. I think I mentioned the still room, so I think I will talk a bit about it. A still room, I talked about the equipment that are normally at the still room, and of course, this area basically provides food and beverage required for the service of a meal, and they are not catered by other major departments in a hotel, okay. For example, they are not catered in the kitchen, neither the ladder and the pastry. So remember, when I'm talking about the ladder, okay, the ladder is basically at the, what is the work of a ladder? What is the work of a ladder, chef? Can you remember what is the work of a ladder, chef? Because I think we did it during our production. Anyone who has an idea? What is the work of a ladder, chef? So if you remember, if you do not even understand what a ladder is, then definitely you might not even understand the explanation to this statement. So who is a ladder, chef? So I think everyone can hear me, and please type at the public chat. So today I don't think we have any problems. Okay. Text. Anyone who has an idea about the ladder, chef? What is the work of a ladder, chef? That we did in production and the organizational structure. Ladder chef, their function. A ladder chef is actually another name that we use for garde manger, the ones who prepare the cold dishes. Okay. For example, the sandwiches, anything cold. They are the ones who make sure that there is provision for it. So when we are talking about anything that is not provided by maybe the ladder chef, the pastry chef, or rather in the kitchen, then I said that during our production unit is that as much as a lot of cooking happens in the kitchen, there are some specific meals or that are not made. Like for example, I talked about beverages. Okay, especially the hot beverages. So you find that this maybe star-rated hotels, to be specific, most of them you find that the waiters and the waitresses are the ones who make the hot beverage. Like for example, if you want maybe white coffee, black coffee, cappuccino, any type, we will be talking about beverages. And I remember there is a student called Tutor who was asking me about, what about beverages? Beverages, we are going to talk about all types of beverages. So I think I've addressed you if you are here, Toti. So you'll basically talk about all the types of beverages that are there. So if you are going to, your group talks is to do about beverages, you'll talk about the hot, the cold, alcoholic, non-alcoholic. You will mention all of them, so you are not limited. Okay, so this tea room is very important because just imagine you as a waiter or a waitress. It is not, you are also supposed to be equipped with some skills, a few skills for you to do some production, whereby you will be able to even know how to make maybe cappuccino, know how to make coffee latte, know how to make maybe the basic beverages that are sold in the hotel. So immediately a guest is able to ask of maybe they want a cappuccino or a coffee latte, then you're supposed to go make it for them, not that you're going to take that order to the kitchen. So we'll try when we resume to our practicals to during our service, we'll try making a few hot beverages. So let me go back to the stay room. So the stay room here is whereby you find that you find equipment, like for example, I think I'm getting distractions here. So you'll find equipments like for example fridges. Okay, so in case you need milk, you need butter, you need fresh juices and so on, so they will be there. And you'll be able to find maybe bread slicing machine. Remember, even in the production you make bread, so in case you need slices, you can be able to slice them into the portions that the customer needs. And coffee grilling machine, okay, is already there for you. Butter machine is there, the ice maker. So these are things that you shouldn't be going to the kitchen to and fro and so on. So you can be able to make something, a beverage very fast for the customer to be able to enjoy. Okay, so in the stay room there is provision of everything. They make sure that there is butter, there is enough sugar, there is all types of beverages. If you want the coffee, you need the tea, you need the chocolate. Fruit juices are there. If it is orange juice, pineapple, if you need to mix and make a mocktail, so you'll find everything provided there. It's just for you to know the skill of making all that and making it presentable to the guest upon request. So the study room is an important room that you'll come across, and of course you'll be equipped with a few skills for you to be able to know how to make these items. So when you go to the industry, you are well equipped in case you are required to make such. Okay, so we have other different types of areas, like we have the plate room, the plate or the silver room. Remember that these areas is whereby you keep all the items that are needed, especially during the service time. All the cutleries, be it bigger ones, smaller ones, are there, and of course there is machines on how to clean them. Of course, you place them near where you can be able even to wash to be able to wash them. I guess Modoni taught a few of the methods that are used in washing and some of the advantages and disadvantages, and of course you can find most of them in your notes. Okay, we also have the dispense bar. So a dispense bar, of course, is another area that is found in the food and beverage service. From the word is, of course, there to provide beverages for the guests. So it is where all the alcoholic and non-alcoholic beverages are placed, and of course the sommelier or the wine butler is able to make service to the guest with no problems. So they make sure that it is well equipped. It has all types of beverages that they have already listed into their menus for them to prepare maybe the cocktails or the mocktails immediately they need. So in this dispense bar, you'll find equipment just like, for example, you find the cocktail shaker. So we have the mixing glasses. Of course, making cocktail requires a few skills also. So that is also a unit by itself called mixology, which you'll be able to do to be able to understand more. Okay, so when I'm talking about the cocktail shakers and the mixing glasses and so on, so you'll be also shown on these skills on how to be able to mix different types of maybe spirits or maybe rum to be able to come up with a good cocktail. So let's see. So we also have a dishwashing area, or we call them the wash up area. So this is an area whereby, remember, in the kitchen there is also a wash up area for the equipment that are used in the production. But also in the food and beverage service, we also have equipments that are just to be cleaned by the personnel who are working in the service area. So we also make sure that these equipments are cleaned separately, because you know that all these equipments, most of them are made from fragile materials, so they need to be handled with care. So you can't just mix them with any steel. The cooking pots are made of steel, and you can't mix with maybe porcelain kind of materials and glasswares. So I think that's all about this topic about service areas and ancillary department. Unless there is any question. Any questions so far? Any questions? So I think I can wind up on that.